Good
Well,
evening,
hello.
everyone. Hi. Is there anybody out there? Oh, Quipster! Quipster, hi. Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Hi. Did I mute my... Yes, mine is muted. Is your muted, Raggedy?
Huh? No, I'm not muted. Sorry.
YouTube? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to try to figure out where the feedback was coming from.
Sorry, hang on. I know exactly where.
All right. No worries. Hi, hobos. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you around here. Welcome, Empoleon. You are just so excited for your birthday, huh, Empoleon? Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Hope you have a good one. I wish I could still get that excited about my birthday. But, you know, I feel like most of us reach a certain age where birthdays are just another day.
Okay, something glitched.
You're fine now. There's no feedback.
Thank God.
Hi, Kenny/Sheep. Welcome. Hi, Dink Engine. Welcome, guys.
Hey, guys.
I hope you're all having a lovely day. I wanted to try out the whole streaming in the middle of the week to see if it would make a difference as far as, you know, how many people get to listen to the interviews. I'm already seeing 15 people, so maybe Wednesday is a better time because, I mean, it usually works its way up to 15 or more during the Friday nights, but you have 15 already, and maybe it's just that you have quite the cheerleading section, Raggedy, or, you know, maybe it just works out better Wednesday. Because, I mean, obviously I want as many people as possible to be able to listen to you guys' interviews and check out your content. So, yeah, I'm experimenting a little bit here. Let's see. Hi, Gerardo. Welcome. Sin.
Hey, guys. Memento Mori.
Oh, Memento. Hi.
Oh, Sinister. You're so sweet.
What's up, Nightmare Files? Welcome. Let's see.
I'm all about this business. It's all about me, guys.
Yeah, it's all about Raggedy.
Forget about this Margbot person. Okay?
Yeah, just ignore me. Just focus on what she has to say and then go check her out. And like all her videos, for sure.
I'm totally missing. I feel like I owe so much to Margbot right now just because I've screwed up so much with you, and I'm so sorry.
Life happens, and I definitely understand, especially in the life of a college student. I mean, I was a college student not that long ago, and it can be a bit of a nightmare. So I completely understand. No worries. Honestly, I've had you on the books to interview for quite some time now. But because I knew you had a lot going on, I kind of just wanted to give you some time. Because I actually had people approach me and say, hey, when are you going to interview her? And I told them, look, I already have her on my list, but I'm giving her some space.
No, it's fine. I really appreciate that, especially since kind of breaking the fourth wall here. Not that we haven't done that a million times already, but I was working at fast food for a little bit. And I didn't do it because I'm well endowed in money, but I did it because I just wanted the work experience. And they had me set up for 3 10-hour shifts in a row. And I didn't get a break for 6.5 hours. And so just, I don't even know how I managed to keep up the pace that I've been doing, but I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you know, when you're young and you look for that work experience, because if not, then when the big jobs come around, they're like, well, why weren't you working at this point? So I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we're going to get started, everyone. Wow, 21 of you watching. See, you do have quite the cheerleading section.
Oh, someone just subbed to me. Yay!
Yay, everybody sub to her. Just saying.
And my name is Raggy now.
Is it? Why is it Raggy?
Monroy, sorry. Just
Gerardo, yeah, just subbed you. All right, good. You won't regret it, I promise. I only have quality content on here, guys. You know this. Anyway, so what is the origin of your channel name?
All right, so when I started my channel, I mostly just did it for fun. And I didn't want to adopt any sort of name that had creepypasta in it because you can kind of assume that people would go like, "Oh, look at this girl. She's trying to create a name for herself." And I didn't want to do that. And I remember when I was a kid, I had a Raggedy Ann doll, and I thought this was one of the ugliest toys to ever exist.
Ooh.
But for whatever reason, when I was a child, I thought that Raggedy Ann was named after me. I thought, like in my little 3-year-old brain,
Wow.
this toy was named after me. And so now that I'm older, I kind of took my nickname and I just sort of inserted it into this creepy little ragdoll persona I've created for myself.
So I sense some narcissism here.
I know, I just started out young. Everything is about me. I am the self-centered one.
That's the theme of the night, guys. Self-centeredness / narcissism.
I will say this. I really that was actually something that I was very insecure about for a long time, though, when I first created that, because I despite, like you live in your little kid universe and you kind of think that the world revolves around you for a while. But kind of creating a name for myself, I wanted to just sort of bring back this old creepy toy that I don't think a lot of people have thought about in a while, and I just thought that I would try to breathe new life into it in one shape or form.
Well, I'm pretty sure you knew this. Well, most people I feel like know this that are into horror. But the story of Annabelle, it was originally the real doll, because this is based on a quote true story. The real doll is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
So, if only they had used the real Raggedy Ann doll, but I guess it just doesn't look menacing enough.
I think it's creepy as hell, but that's just me. I was a scared little child too. I was scared of a lot of things. I was scared of a lamp.
Oh.
I wish I was joking.
No lamps for
I was scared of a lamp.
All right. What inspired the design of your avatar / logo? Because obviously you're quite gifted with drawing. Those of you that don't know, Raggedy also draws and animates. So what made you go with this particular design out of anything else you could have drawn?
Well, thank you so much. I mean, for me, I'm not entirely sure why I decided to draw her the way that she did. It's kind of a cliche, a girl in stitches. In fact, anyone stitched up is kind of a symbol of horror as old as time itself, because it's a disgusting, grotesque idea if you think about the implications. But I suppose I wanted to stay true to the name, and I didn't want my avatar to look like, to put it nicely, some sort of cutesy Melanie Martinez knockoff. That cute frizzy sort of thing that has like a dark edge to it. I really wanted to go quirky, but much more grotesque.
Gotcha. Okay. And what's the story with the book? Just because because of the whole reading, narrating aspect, or?
Well, okay. So for people who don't want spoilers, maybe you should skip this part right now. But the thing about the book is, so for those of you who don't know, I am a huge fan of The Evil Dead. I love everything about it. And what I really like the idea of the Necronomicon, which I know I know that the movie didn't create by itself, but that's how I was really introduced to it. And I decided that I really wanted to do something where I could say that there are stories inside of here that I could manipulate and control in real life. As a child, I really liked the book Gossamer, which was about a bunch of these fictional creatures that could weave dreams. And I liked the idea that through the book, I would be able to manipulate nightmares.
Okay. It's so dark. So there was more to the avatar that you hadn't explained. All right.
Axeman, I know what you're talking about. Do you want me to turn that off real quick? I know exactly what it is.
I actually think it might be me because I'm using my laptop due to the fact that I don't have my desktop, and the fan on this is really loud.
Okay, because I have a dehumidifier going on in the background, and I know that can be a little noisy.
Let me try moving my mic to the other side of the laptop where the fan isn't. Sorry, guys, if there's audio quality issues. That's more than likely my fault, not Raggedy's.
I'm using my gamer mic. It's okay.
Well, we'll deal. We'll survive. We've been through many things here.
With me.
This is not anywhere close to the worst quality ever.
Hi, Ashlyn McShame.
Let's see. Okay, so I think I know the answer to this, but for those listening, which came first, the drawing or the narration?
All right, the drawing definitely came first, in case you didn't know.
How long have you been drawing for?
Well, interestingly enough, I started playing guitar. I had this belief as a kid that I was going to be some sort of folk singer, but I turned into a cartoonist when I turned 13 because, spoilers here and a little personal, I was very, very hurt at one point. And the only way that I could really deal with it was I picked up a pencil and I just started drawing, and I didn't really think about what I was drawing. I wasn't especially gifted, but I took so much solace in it. And I went to an art school because of it. And this is kind of where the big fragile ego comes in. It's all about me, guys, except everyone had this. And so,
wow. Those artists, I tell you, you guys are too much.
It's the kind of place where, like, if you stepped out of the car and you pointed to someone, you could just start singing Dr. Horrible and they would finish the lyric for you. So it was an interesting place.
Was it an enjoyable time because you were around other people who enjoyed what you did, or were they just on a whole nother snooty level?
I have to say that I was somewhere in between. In a way, I felt as if I belonged because I just couldn't, I had a hard time connecting with people. I still do. I'm a very shy, introverted person. I put on this big bravado like I am with you right now.
I was gonna say.
No, this is all a show. This is all a show. I guess even right now, like, my heart is going a million miles per hour. I'm just trying to stay cool.
Hey, you're just chatting with a friend here and you have other friends watching you. It's not a big deal. We're just hanging out.
Ashlyn, my favorite song is A Brand New Day. And I think that because I struggle with communicating with people, and I know, again, like, I say that I have a big ego. Truth be told, I'm actually a very soft person. I just like to give people a little edge because if they don't know me at first, sometimes I've had someone try to steal from me before. And so I've decided that I wanted to give them a little push in advance. But either way, because I can't communicate with people very well, I've decided that cartooning is a way that I can connect with people. And I actually, I've had people come up to me and say, your drawings, they made me happy. Some people say they made me cry. And I kind of felt good about that because it was me connecting with them in a way that I couldn't possibly do with my words, I think.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, art is often a medium for us to be able to connect and communicate with others. So I can understand where you're coming from. What inspired you to take that next level and start a YouTube channel?
Well, many different narrators, actually. At the time I first heard, and you probably saw this already, but at the time, I first heard creepypasta from a prom date. And I thought, because he
wow.
I know, right? He was a nerd and he didn't really like horror at the time. By the way, Dying Fire, I already answered that question. And
so true.
And I just thought, like, creepypasta, that is a ridiculous name. I can't wait to look up this funny thing and laugh as it tries to be spooky, but is funny at the same time. And he told me about Ben Drowned, and I just saw someone's fan-made video for it, and it actually creeped me out. It scared me. I was surprised I was happy because I was always the horror kid, but I was
Yeah.
shocked beyond belief. And I was like, I wonder what else is going to come from this. And that's when I became more involved. And I thought, eh, you know, I'm not really doing anything right now. Nobody really knew me too well in school, and I felt like playing guitar was starting to get a little boring over time. I wanted a new hobby, and so I took up narrating.
Okay. So why would you ever start a channel that's more art oriented? Because I know you do pair that with your horror narrations, but would you ever do something like, drawing on screen or anything like that?
I've definitely considered it, and I do want to try it. I don't think I'm it's going to sound a little strange. I don't think I'm confident right now to do something like that. Um, I was overwhelmingly surprised at the praise that I've gotten for my cartoons, actually. I didn't actually expect that to come from this community, and I started drawing more and more for Twitter when I saw that people were enjoying my stuff. And so I've been toying with this idea, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely not alone. There's several others in the community that draw, and you're good at what you do. I mean, I understand you not feeling confident, but I don't think you should feel that way because I've seen the progress pictures you post and your finished product, and I definitely think that you have the skill to show us what you got.
Thank you.
So if you ever do, just let us know so we can promote it.
Oh, that's so great. I mean, again, like I can't emphasize this enough. I sometimes do come across like, oh guys, it's all about me. Respond to my work. But at the same time, like really, I'm just so happy. I really am so happy that you guys are really liking what I'm putting out there. That maybe I'm taking on a responsibility that shouldn't be mine, but I love it. And you guys do mean a lot to me. Of course, talking to you, Margbot, of course, talking to everyone that bothered to show up today.
Hey, I've had bigger names on here that don't have that many people watching, okay?
Oh, no, we just lost one. Thanks. Oh, no, it came back.
That's what happens when I open my mouth. But anyway, do you have a process to prepare for recording?
Interestingly enough, I do have to do some mental preparation because, again, shy person that's trying to do a character. But I always do vocal exercises that I did when I was in musical theater. And that's a kind of a little dramatic. I've had a suite mate knock on my door and says, "Are you singing opera right now?" And I say, "No, I'm just warming up for my next narration." And
yeah, I've seen that before, so I can understand why your roommate would feel that way.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Hey, at least they don't think you're being murdered, right? That's a plus.
It's true. Oh my gosh, Ashlyn, who is she was my roommate. She is responding right now saying, one, ask roommate to shush. And that's actually what happened. She wasn't even doing anything. She was watching something on her computer with her headphones on, noise canceling headphones. Mm-hmm. And she was just munching on some sweethearts. And I said, this microphone can hear it sloshing inside your mouth. And I felt so awful. Apparently it can actually pick up noise that I can't even hear with my own ears.
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the ass. I have to go to sometimes I have to go to one of the oh my gosh, what are they called? Ashlyn, help me.
A recording
room? In the library, help. They are like
the study rooms?
Yeah, they have no they're completely soundproof.
Oh wow.
So
very nice. At least you have access to that.
Mm-hmm. Only at certain hours, though. I don't understand.
Gotcha.
It's annoying. Yeah.
What is something you wish to improve upon?
Well, for one, I wish I could improve on how fast I can actually produce these videos, and I hope that I'll really be able to hone in on the animation skills that I have. I'm not in a position to animate in a different format right now, and I do feel very I feel bad about that because I know that I want to make better work than what I have been making. And I've gotten a few people saying like, hey, your animation's great, but, and I would have to find a way to explain myself.
Gotcha. Well, I feel like any art is constantly evolving, whether it be the narration or the drawing or the animating. I mean, you can ask Axeman. He would tell you. Axeman's done a great deal of work, I feel like, for the community. And I think his skill's always growing and evolving. And I think that's true for anybody in this community. If, if your heart's into it, you're always improving. Because once you stop trying, then, it reflects in your work. So I think that's a good thing that, that you can handle constructive criticism.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing about us artists. You can't hurt us. We're made of rubber. Because basically every single day we have to turn in this heartfelt painting that we've made and we say, here are our testicles. Punch them as hard as you can.
If only Hitler had known that.
Seriously though. But yeah, we have to put it up on the wall, and some critiques are nice or put very gently. We don't want it to be people blowing butterflies up our asses, because that's when we kind of know that you're lying to us. If it's perfect, put it in the Louvre. But it's obviously not perfect. Tell us what we need to do. So sometimes it's placed very nicely. Other times, someone will stand in front of your work and say, this is bullshit. I wish that I could rip my eyes out of my sockets just so that I never have to see it ever again.
Wow.
And so,
that's harsh.
Nightmare Files, I know the pain of being punched in the boobs, and that's how it feels to me.
I think it's different for them. I mean, they want to.
No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. But I know that it still is like, basically, it's taking a piece of your soul.
Yeah.
And I guess
in most things,
that is something that I really I think that's something that I really want to cover. My humor is very dry, and I understand that some people are just, they're not okay with that. My recent video, for example, my recent video, people thought was funny, but they also said, just don't do it again. You are way too harsh on yourself. I'd say that I'm not afraid to say about myself what I would say to anybody else, because I think that you need to separate yourself from your work. You need to say, this does not define me. This is just something that I happen to produce.
Yeah.
And I can continue to improve, or I can fall into a pit, but that's not who I am. That's the product of what I am doing.
Yeah.
I think that's important to know.
I do agree with that. Sometimes, well, not really anymore, but I think more towards the beginning. I heard people who, they're like, Margbot who? Or, I got reports back from friends, and then they would be like a click, like, oh, you mean the girl who interviews people? And I'm like, oh, I guess that's who I am now. The girl who interviews people.
Hey, people are very excited about those interviews.
Yeah, no, I completely appreciate the fact that everybody enjoys them. But, it's kind of like, well, I do other things on my channel. But anyway, that's a story for another time. You have a favorite video you've narrated?
I have to say that I'm probably going to change my answer later, but for right now, the one that I came up with, I really enjoyed narrating Giggle. This was one that was actually requested to me by the author. Ooh. And it was it's a part of a greater thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the request to do a sequel. I don't know what that says about me, but I know that they themselves actually already narrated the sequel, so I guess that was just part of it. And I think that it really demonstrated that I was understanding how to use my new microphone, which is still a pain in the ass, but I love it with all my heart. Like most things in life, it's most things that I love, really. And so I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. It's definitely not my most popular video, but I think it's a fun one, and the author clearly had a lot of really cool ideas going on.
I agree. You guys should definitely check it out. Do you have a favorite art piece that you have made? Whether it be animation or a drawing or...
Well, I actually have I've looked at this question a few times, and I kind of split it up into my painting art and then my digital art. Okay. My painting art, I'll probably post a picture of this after this interview if anyone's curious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you please post it on Twitter?
Yeah. The one thing that's a little messed up is the moon, and I was planning on taking my painting down off the wall, and I would fix it. But it's called Beneath the Dead Sea.
Ooh.
And I really like this one. It's kind of got a very mysterious feeling to it, and it's one of those paintings where I just sat down. I was so tired. I was like doing it when I was half awake. I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing, and then I was like, "Oh, a masterpiece! Great." Not really,
it's nice how it's just happened, huh?
But in my digital art so far, actually, I was very pleased with how my anxiety digital drawing came out. If you guys haven't seen it, you can check it on my Twitter page. And I haven't given that one a name yet. And so I guess I was just feeling so anxious, and I decided I needed to exert this energy somewhere else. And I drew exactly how I was feeling inside, which is a little pretentious, but where else is it going to go? So I felt that it was definitely one of my better pieces, as I'm still trying to figure out this medium. Nightmare Files. If someone were to meet you, would they think that you are into drawing and narrating? So, you know what? Good question. And the answer probably is no. I would tell them right off the bat, but if I didn't say this about me, no one would have probably guessed.
Interesting. That's a good question, actually, Nightmare Files. I might have to steal that from you. But I don't know that anybody would really know that any of us are into the things that we're into here on YouTube. This is something that it's such a small subgenre in the grand scheme of things that nobody's like, oh, I wonder if that person narrates or if that person vlogs. Maybe vlogging actually is more popular, and you would think like, okay, that person vlogs, but not so much like, hey, do they tell scary stories on YouTube?
It's like a very specific thing to ask somebody.
Extremely specific, So yeah, that is
like, hey, do you like to jump rope as much as I do?
Exactly. Do you have a most disturbing story that you've narrated?
Gosh, the most disturbing story. I have not narrated the most disturbing story that I've read. And here's the interesting thing. I think that if I went back, I could find a million more disturbing stories than this one. But I had to go with the only one that gave me nightmares as a kid. I don't know if you're familiar with R.L. Stine's Beware.
I'm familiar with R.L. Stine's Goosebumps books. But no, I don't think I've ever read Beware.
All right. So it's an anthology of a bunch of collected scary stories, one of which was called The Judge's House. And I can't remember the story very well, and I'm probably going to get it wrong. A bunch of people in the comments are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's the most disturbing story, and she can't even remember it? Really? Well, I do remember how it ends. It ends in a hanging. And it ends not just with a hanging, but with the man doing the hanging, having this sadistic grin on his face, like he had been possessed. He had been purely possessed. And I remember going to bed thinking about it. And I thought about this man that was probably, begging for his life. And just being dragged to the middle of the room and trying to ring this bell that was actually attached to the house for this very occasion, for emergencies, and not being able to reach it. I remember that image just being nailed into my head. And for 3 nights straight, I just could not sleep properly.
Yeah, I bet. How old were you when you read that?
I was about 7 or 8.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening at 7 or 8.
When I was a kid, and I know I keep on saying when I was a kid, but I think that it has a lot to do with why I do what I do right now. I was scared of everything. I think that there was so much to be afraid of in my mind. I was scared of the car wash. The car wash was terrifying to me. I would cry. I think that when you become so afraid of something, you become fascinated with it. And the only way that you can kind of get through life is to just be as scary as life is itself. So
yeah, just throw it back in its face.
Mm-hmm. So I read Goosebumps. I loved Halloween. I would go out and I would try to, I had like this approach avoid response to horror until I was like, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12. And I loved horror. Like I finally submitted. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
It truly is. If not, we wouldn't be here, right?
Well, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to have met you.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm happy that you agreed to do this.
This is fun.
Where do you see your channel in a year?
Where do I see my channel? I hope that I expect that I'll probably be more involved with my channel, bringing in a bunch of other voices, both from YouTube and just from my own life, people who want to act. And so I really want it to be more of a world as opposed to it just being about me. I want to create this entire universe that I have sort of in my head right now.
Okay. Ambitious, but I'm sure you can bring it together.
I hope so.
So hope to see that within the next year then. If you could meet any 2 narrators in person, who would they be and why?
I'd love to meet Corpse Husband, and not just because he was in one of my favorite remixes of Grim Grinning Ghosts. Actually, it was because he was a big inspiration to me. But I would actually also like to meet Let's Read, because his voice is so unique. I really like the kind of style that he brings to this genre.
I agree. I am incredibly partial to Let's Read. I know I've said this before, but I actually fall asleep to his voice quite often because it's so soothing, but yet he still has the ability to bring the creepy in. So what I ended up doing is I fall asleep to the stories, and then in the morning while I'm like getting ready and everything, then I'll put it back on so I can actually hear the stories, because they're good. It's not like I'm falling asleep because they're boring or because his voice is boring, but because it's so soothing. So I completely get you there with Let's Read. And as for Corpse Husband, I'm sure that he's inspired many people on here. And on that note, I think it's his birthday today. So Corpse, if you're listening, happy birthday.
Hey, that's awesome. Happy birthday. I hope that he gets it.
Right?
It's from me.
Right? Happy birthday, Corpse. But yeah, I think he posted that earlier, that it was his birthday. And I do recall it's early August. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to meet both of those folks. They seem like genuine folks. Like you said, they have their styles that they bring to the table, and they do inspire many people to start their very own journey in this.
And I think that's one of the most amazing things, in my opinion. A lot of people talk about how this genre is very oversaturated, especially when it comes to horror narration. In my opinion, I think that maybe we should look at it as more of a blessing than it is a curse, because no one's going to be stealing anybody's audience, and the only people that will really rise to the occasion are people who have their own style and have something that really makes them unique or special. They don't, people generally don't want copycats unless their original narrator goes away.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that there is plenty to go around. I know that there were some issues with quality not that long ago, but I think that explosion, that wave that we had of channels that started has now definitely receded due to all the YouTube issues that have happened in the last 6 months, 6 to 8 months. So I don't really think that's a problem anymore. And I could see why, you know, it would be a blessing, because I feel like maybe, you know, out of 10 channels, maybe 1 or 2 of them are worth listening to, but that 1 or 2 are great, you know? So, so like you said, it just offers more variety to all of us. And it's not like we're stealing audiences either. So,
no, that's what I'm coming from. I think that there are some people who are a little afraid of their audiences being stolen, but I think that if anything, people are going to listen to these new guys, and if they're not worth listening to, they'll be like, well, thank God I didn't stick with them.
yeah, I agree. Anything
Mr. Creepypasta forever.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything you want to share with your fans or potential subscribers that you really want them to know about you or the channel?
Yes. Firstly, this may be a cliche. I am so sorry, and I'm about to turn into the world's biggest sap, but I really can't thank my fans enough for giving me a shot. And I know that I'm a small YouTuber, but still, even with the subscribers that I have, it's still great that someone has said, like, you are actually somebody who is worth listening to. You actually bring something unique. It's wonderful that I can reach out to so many people, the horror crew and so on. And I want them to know that I don't want to be a copycat narrator. I really want to be something else. And I also don't want to solely just do narrations. I kind of want to, as I said, develop my own world. And the main feeling that I really want to capture is that morning, that, the Saturday morning cartoon sort of feeling. I want it to be kind of like Courage or Grim Adventures, and being able to be excited and say, wow, I wonder what's going to happen in the next episode. I wonder if she's going to create a new character, or I wonder what's going on in this universe that's different from my own.
Okay.
And the last thing I want to say, and this is gonna be the sloppiest of it all. I'm so sorry. I want to say that if you're thinking about starting a channel, or if you're thinking about doing any project really, and say that somebody makes fun of you for it, even like someone like me that takes something and has a dry sense of humor and just criticizes it. Just so you know, the only person that you have to answer to is yourself. You don't have to answer to me. You don't have to answer to anybody around you. Yep. And you need to know that don't ever apologize for it. You grow from it. You need to laugh at yourself. I laugh at myself all the time, and know that you can either acknowledge that you've made a blunder, or you can say, no, I did this on purpose and I'm awesome. So
that is a very positive message to share, Raggedy. Most people would be like, oh, come subscribe to it. Not that there's anything wrong with this, because that's exactly why I asked this question. Most people would be like, oh, come subscribe to my channel because I'm awesome, or insert something here, you know.
Oh
but
my gosh.
You just took it. No, that's totally fine. I mean, I want them to come subscribe to you guys, but you just took it completely a different other way. And you're like, look, here's some advice to you, which is adorable. And I really appreciate it. And I'm sure the folks listening appreciate it.
I'm really glad.
That's awesome.
The other thing is, like, guys, if I stop entertaining you, as Bo Burnham would say, kick me to the curb. Like, there's no point in me being an entertainer and you guys still hanging out with me. Then, like, you can message me anytime, but if I'm not entertaining you, don't subscribe.
Yeah, no, I get that too, because then it's just kind of like a filler, like, oh, I have 1 million subscribers, but only like 500 are listening. But no, I get what you're saying. And then for my last question, do you have an official face reveal planned? Because I don't think I've ever seen your face anywhere.
Um, I don't know if I will ever reveal my face. And I know that's not really what a lot of people want to hear a narrator say. I might still change my mind, but the thing is that I think everyone has insecurities, and I'm no different. And just like with anything that you can fix, with art, with narrations, with writing, even as these are things that can be fixed, can be looked at, and just say like, "Wow, these are skills that you need to improve on." My face is my identity, and I
You
don't.
can't exactly change that, right?
I don't want to change that, and I especially I don't think that I would be able to handle what the internet would do with my face.
Aww. Well, I understand the respect for privacy. There is a need for privacy, and everyone should respect it. And then I do also hear the point of view from people who are like, well, I'd rather not see that narrator's face because it would kill the effect or whatever. So, I mean, I feel like it's better, personally, it's better to do it when you're small if you're going to do it at all, because then there isn't as much pressure. But to each their own. So, I mean, if you don't want to do it, most people don't want to do it. That's cool. It's not a big deal. It's definitely bizarre for other YouTubers. I'll tell you that much. I've been told that at YouTube space. But this is just who we are. This is our little subgenre here. We do what we want.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm again so sappy, but I'm so excited. And if Creepy Blonde Girl is out there at all, I just want to say thank you, especially because I would not have met any of you if it wasn't for her, because she just came across one of my narrations and told me, you need to get on Twitter right now. And suddenly now I'm here, and I never thought I would make it this far, even though it's still like maybe an inch and a hop, but still it's further than I would have been without it. And you guys are funny and wonderful and all these other beautiful adjectives that are not coming to my brain. I don't know. And horrific. I don't know.
We do try. Okay, so let me look at these comments. Oh, Empoleon, thank you so much for your donation. He said, Margbot, this is the 1-year anniversary that I subscribed to your channel after hearing your awesome voice on Eden's video and became entertained with your content. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much, Empoleon. I really always appreciate the support that you guys give me, both with, watching or sharing or donating, whatever it may be. I always really appreciate it, guys, especially right now, because I'm going to have to buy a new car that I can't afford. So yeah, I mean, you guys don't have to donate money, obviously, but I always appreciate you guys sharing my content, because I like having my voice out there and knowing that people are listening, because, I'm a narcissist like that, just like Raggedy over here. We can't help it. But yeah, I know that you guys haven't seen too many of the usual true scary story videos or pastas uploaded, and that's because I think those of you that were here at the beginning heard me say that I'm working out of my laptop currently, and my laptop doesn't really render videos, so that's why I haven't been able to upload any actual YouTube videos. I've been able to upload just recordings to my Patreon, but that's because they take audio only, and obviously YouTube doesn't. But as soon as I get my desktop back, then I'll be able to upload all these backup videos for you guys. So sorry about that. Let's see, what else? Any questions that I may have missed? I try not to interrupt the interviews for those of you that are new, because it's rude. I wasn't going to be rude to Raggedy. So
yeah, sorry, I probably interrupted you at one point. I feel bad.
No, you're totally fine. It's just, I mean, I'm not going to interrupt our interview so I could read some comment that somebody said. And I think you were reading the questions they were asking you. Oh, let's see. Ulrich asked, what mic are you using?
What mic? This is a Blue Yeti.
Oh, I have a Blue Yeti too. I love it.
Aren't they fun?
They are very fun, and I actually am glad I held out until they actually released a Blue Yeti, because they originally didn't have one for some odd reason.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, this was a recent development. They had them in other colors, but they didn't have them in blue. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? The name of your company is Blue. Come on now. Let's get with the program. All right. I think I covered everything. Well. Oh, hi, Empoleon. Again, smiley face. Okay. Hope to meet you at a future convention. I will binge watch, listen to your content on my birthday. Thanks, Empoleon. I appreciate it. I always appreciate your support, like I said. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Raggedy, for making this happen and allowing me to interview you. I hope that we all got to know you a little bit better. I hope that you have a few folks at least, if not all 21 that were watching, go check out your channel and subscribe because your content is amazing. They know they can trust me on quality control.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was really a blast, and it was really awesome to meet new people and to have the center of attention be on me for a bit.
Which we all know you love by now.
Everybody love me. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, please don't.
Anyhow. All right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And I have another interview for next Friday. I will be releasing the announcement on Twitter here. I don't know. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But anyhow, so you all have a lovely rest of your week. And Margbot out.